welcome to my new channel. I will be slowly figuring out what I will be doing with this channel, but essentially it's going to be me telling a lot of stories. I would like to share the stories of the experiences I have, the dreams that come through for me or to me. And I wanted to also have a space where I can really talk about what's in my heart and all the things I'm learning about, the ways in which I'm growing, because I've always felt that this is my way of really connecting with people, whether it's in my community or outside of my community. And it's really the way that I will be able to be of service, really make use of my experiences. I've always just wanted to help others and support others, I guess, like everybody else. But yeah, I've always felt like the way that I would be doing that would be through my stories. So if you ever come across this and you have any questions or anything that you want to know more about, please feel free to message me. I'll make sure my information is all loaded on my channel. But also to let you know a little bit about me. So at the moment, I am a coach. I am a spiritual intuitive life coach. I am also a Reiki master. I also teach Reiki. Reiki is honestly probably one of my biggest passions, and one of the things I connect with the most and love the most. Like I love working with Reiki energy. The unconditional love energy is just out of this world. So healing. And I do Akashic Records readings. I'm actually a mediator by practice. I had been a mediator for many years. I predominantly worked in conflict management and investigations, in community mediation, harassment, sexual violence, and discrimination. In the corporate world, I was in HR for a bit. So I've done various kind of a lot of little things all over the place that actually all come back together and connect in a beautiful way. I have also worked a lot in the not-for-profit sector. I loved working, for example, Syrian refugees and with youth, and yeah, so I've always tried to be of service and to be out there in the community to help the people as much as I can with the skills I have. And to tell you a little bit about my background, I'm Iraqi Canadian, so I was born in Iraq. I left Iraq at the age of 4, near the ends of the Gulf War. And then I moved to Jordan, where I lived for 5 years, and then I moved to Canada, where I spent most of my life. But at the moment, I'm living in my 8th country. So I've traveled quite a bit. And yeah, I'm just so happy, always pursuing my dreams and the life that I that I want, that I'm slowly figuring out what I want. So I'm still kind of in that process, and I'm really enjoying that journey for the most part. I mean, even when it gets really, really difficult sometimes, and it has gotten really hard in 2023, for example, I eventually move back into that place of feeling joy again. So it is possible, and it does happen. It's just sometimes we do get caught up in our shadows, and they will come out. And I think it's very important for us to honor them and allow our body and our hearts to really work through it. So that's another topic for another day. But yeah, so I've lived all over the place now, as I've said. I lived in those 3 countries I mentioned. I've lived in the US, in LA. I've lived in the UAE. I've lived in the UK. I've lived in Europe, in other countries. I've lived in Vietnam for a short time. So yeah, so I've been in quite a bit of places all over the world. And and where I'm at right now in my life just is still kind of a little wobbly, but is the clearest it's ever been in my life. And it's the safest I've ever felt and the best I've ever felt. which is so weird to say because there are days where I could say I felt so good and so happy and so excited about everything and about life, and I felt so good, probably the best I've ever felt. But I realized it was never really the way I feel right now. Well, yes, I was happy and excited in those other times. Right now, the way I feel is a level of kind of stability and content that I didn't experience in those other times. So even though um, things aren't exactly the way I want them to be in some ways, and using our conditioning language in the 3D, we're conditioned to speak of it, but there are things I continue to desire, of course, in life, and that's a part of being human. We will always desire. But I'm no longer in that place of lack. I'm no longer in that place of I don't have it and I'm I'm working towards it and I'm miserable for not having it or something like that. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But yeah. So what else can I talk about as my intro? I also love to do oracle cards. I work with oracle, I work with crystals, and I also do a lot of shamanic practices. Now I hold circles, which are so dear to me where I live. And I'm looking to partner up some more with other people in my community. And as a part of these ceremonial circles, we hold the space in a way as they have for thousands of years through shamanic practices. There are so many different methods, and I will bring in sometimes other tools from other traditions. I really, really love the Siberian traditions, of course, but also I'm studying at the moment the Soma people of Norway. I find it super intriguing. So it's a learning process, and as I hope to be doing until the day I die. So die. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. I'm going to make so many videos, and one of my favorite things actually that I'm really, really looking forward to talking about is about time. I'm really interested in quantum physics, quantum entanglement especially, um, and um, and yeah, what Einstein and Tesla have talked about, all these different things. So very intriguing to me. There's so much to talk about there. But yeah, and then one of the last things that I love to do is I love to write. I'm also a writer. I am working on a couple of books actually simultaneously, and yeah, at the same time I'm doing neither most of the time. I'm really hoping to keep getting back into it and doing more for that. But yeah, I'm a writer. I love, love, love to write. I'm a huge proponent of journaling and what the benefits of journaling. And yeah, and also I like to think of myself lately as a botanist. I'm slowly learning about plants. I'm really bad at taking care of, okay, let's change my language. In the past, I haven't done the best job in really caring for plants because I either hadn't had the opportunity to, or I didn't take the time to truly learn the needs of whatever plant I have. So I've been moving into really learning about it and trying to keep a couple of plants alive. Which is hilarious to me because I love nature. I'm a hiker. So to me, to not be able to take care of plants is kind of yeah, it contradicts the other, but I think it's like cooking. Anyone can learn. So as long as we follow certain steps. And I think there's a lot more heart in it as well. And I think one of the plants that is kind of not doing great, I keep looking at it. I don't think it's doing so great because I tend to leave a lot. I travel a lot. So I think it likes the consistency of someone being home all the time. I don't know if that's true. That's how I feel. I guess I like the idea of being missed. I don't know. Anyways, Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. And yeah, here's to 2024, a new year, new project. And here's to a year of just allowing what we need to come in and really being in that place of moving into surrender and moving into a place of acceptance so we can really move into forgiving ourselves and experiencing what that unconditional love really feels like. Um, all the while working through our shadows, because that's also a huge part of it. There's the darkness, there's the shadows. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And I will actually go ahead and record my first official video now of a story I want to tell. And we'll talk soon. Sending you so much love. Siempre.